Hello, lovelies. Took up deck again. I wasn't gonna do a reading today, but here we are. Here we are. Something needs to be expressed to the collective in some way, shape, or form. And so here we are. This is a collective message, so take what resonates. You'll know what's for you. All right. What do we need to know today? And what do our guides, guardian angels, whatever resonates for you, what do they need to let you know? All right. Okay. Patience is being like, I guess there's this sense of frustration that we're needing to be patient about, because the frustration is part of the lesson. Like, it's part of what has to be experienced. All right. Let's see. We got the Ace of Cups in reverse. We got the King of Pentacles and the Two of Swords in reverse. And then I think we had one in here somewhere. Yes, we do. Death. There's been an ending. Something had to be let go, released. The Nine of Pentacles on the bottom. The release is bringing in autonomy. The release is bringing in the end of whatever this is that's causing that frustration. Is almost like the frustration, the emotional. It's almost like over emotional, right? It's the Ace of Cups is all about new, initiating confidence and building emotional sovereignty. We're building it. We're going from one to the king. In the reverse, I'm feeling like someone is having not okay, the word that came through was temper tantrum. It's like this, there's your inner teenager that is stomping their foot, and they have all kinds of justifications why this is frustrating, this is not cool. And yet, because whatever it is that's coming into end is allowing this release. And we're seeing it in the King of Pentacles, your physical world. It's like we're going, I was saying that the Ace of Cups is building emotional sovereignty. You've built physical sovereignty. Your physical world is one where it's being navigated in a way that is like coherent and productive, even if you're not at the pinnacle of what you think your life should accomplish. You're building the character, the sovereign being that is actively, as a masculine, that's the suit in action. So you are actively participating in your experience to create the world that will be your pinnacle, right? This autonomous feeling of accomplishment, right? The Nine of Pentacles is often seen as someone standing in front of like an orchard, and they're harvesting all the beautiful things from the farm because they've allowed the time to build up their physical world where there is a harvest or there is enough to harvest at all, right? It's going from being, from the Ace to the Nine. We're coming to a completion in order to step into our King of Pentacles. That it's like we're ruling in that space. But this whatever is ending right now is coming to a place because you're not making a choice. 444 on the clock when I say this. The Two of Swords is all about choosing. It's decisive action. It's making that choice. It's following what works best for you. And that may mean cutting things off. That may mean, there's the swords. it's double-edged, right? There's one side that can cut through the bramble and get you to where you need to go, but you got to be careful because you can cut yourself along the way. And you got to be careful where you're aiming it because it is a weapon. Your thoughts, your words, these are weapons. And your choices, right? They can be used for the good of all and harm to none, or the opposite. In this sense, and I mean that needed to come out in some way so dramatically because it might resonate with someone. But in the reverse, we're avoiding choice. We're avoiding making a decision. And this is where that has to end. You have to make that choice. All it's doing is it's the lack of choosing is the temper tantrum. The lack of making that conscious effort to choose you, to choose your independence, your sovereignty, your life. And this is in a physical sense. This is the physical world. This is all emotional. The lack of follow through or continuing on this path, which you know you've been doing, which you know you've been experiencing. It's like this morning, I wasn't going to do a reading. Part of me was like, you know what? I'm going to take today and just not plug into anything and just relax. And then the other part of me was like, well, that's, not what you wanted to do. The inner teenager was the one trying to slack off. And when I realized the message had to come through, it was just this like, oh, well, I wasn't going to today. And there's that inner teenager that's saying, no, you're being emotional, like, right? That emotional feeling of frustration, of, like, not, well, beating your head against the wall. So that it's because we're not making a choice. We're not stepping into it. We're not letting it be the end of, and the end doesn't mean like the end just means you're back at the Fool, right? The Fool, when you look at the Fool card, he's always standing on the precipice of a big cliff. And he's so high up you can't see at the edge of the cliff. Well, he had to make it up the cliff. So the Fool, as much as the Fool is card 0, he's not starting from nothing. That archetype is the one that reached the summit. They've made it to that part. And in reaching that summit of whatever it is in your experience, there's the elation, the excitement, that overflow, which brings in that new start. We can do something else now. We can leap into a new experience, right? And so this is where it's almost like you're at that precipice and the inner teenager's going, well, we came from this way. We have to go back the way we came. And the other part of you that needs to make that choice and make that leap, right? I'm seeing this leaping because of this, we're otherworldly in this having to make a choice. And it could just be choosing you, right? Choosing to allow the teenager to have his time, to have a timeout. Like let the tantrum happen. And then when it's the right moment to do it, then it will follow through. The ending will happen so you can rise into a new experience. But we have to do the transition. It is like a transition. And if the death card seems very dramatic, it just see it as a transitional card. We're transitioning from one phase to another. We're like the Fool jumping off the cliff. But we have to choose. We have to acknowledge that we're feeling overwhelmed by it, but that overwhelm will release once we choose, once we flip this over. Because you've already stepped, like, this came with the original reading. So you are the King of Pentacles in your experience. You are sovereign in your world. Now it's time to make the independent step forward to choose you moving forward and not just stall out. But you are the only one that can make the choice. So we're going to leave our reading here today. If you wanted more detail on your journey, please let me know. Your little side quests. Otherwise, have a beautiful, beautiful day, and we will see you in the next one.